Hello, friends. James Stevenson back with your subscriber exclusive weekly episode of James and Loki's. James of the Week, there's Loki. He is ready to go. He was just digging around in bed. You missed it a minute ago when I was doing my test recording to make sure the audio and video are working. Let's jump right into it. I don't have a lot of time. I gotta get to the hospital and do some medical testing an hour from now. So let's get rolling. Here's the last tweet that we saw from last week. Nothing to worry about. Don't worry about me, subscribers. Just trying to get my right ear scanned to see if they can figure out why I'm losing hearing in one of my two ears. It's not getting better. I had surgery on it like 10 years ago, and it's not getting any better. It is, in fact, getting worse. So we'll see if they can fix that. Here's the next tweet that I liked. So I tried not to give all of my likes to Sawyer Merritt this week. I tried to distribute at least half of them to other people who aren't Sawyer Merritt. Here's one for the Short Shorts historian. The first tweet I liked after last week's episode, this day in Tesla Q history, I sleep well, knowing he lost a lot of money shorting hashtag Tesla. Tesla charts 5 years ago. X made a change this week that allows you to see the accounts of people who block you, like Tesla Charts, who blocks everybody, and Gordon Johnson, who blocks almost everybody who has ever said anything positive about Elon Musk or Tesla. So I got the unusual access to see their tweets this week and went scrolling through them. And a few others came to mind. What was this one from October 31st, 2019, 5 years ago and a week? Tesla Charts said, I sleep well knowing that a certain narcissistic psychopath can't understand why Shorty isn't gone just because he made up the numbers and orchestrated a short squeeze. See you at zero, bro. Hashtag not leaving. Hashtag Tesla Q. This, he thought, was the short squeeze down here. Oh no, my friend. That was not the short squeeze. if you thought the short squeeze was over, more bad news lay ahead for Tesla Charts before he mostly stopped posting. Here's one from Omid Afshar. Teslas not only save you hundreds of dollars in gas savings, our vehicles are also the lowest cost to maintain per Consumer Reports. Yeah, great info here. Tesla's lowest total cost of ownership over a 5-year period. So if that's what you're looking for, hey, I just want the kind of car that is the cheapest to operate over a 5-year period, you want to buy a Tesla. And congratulations to Omid Afshar, who's been working for Elon Musk for a long time at Tesla. His handle is at Omid. I think he has North America for Tesla now. North American sales or something. So congratulations, Omid, on your promotion. And he was retweeting Tesla North America at Tesla_NA. Driving a Tesla saves you a lot of money. And there you go. That's a good example. From Spotted_model. Spotted. It used to be I spotted a Model 3, but I guess that has gone away. Imagine spending only $355 for an entire year of gas. This is for 12,000 miles, one of our threes. Man, the last time I put gasoline in my old Honda Accord, I think it was $50 or something. So you can get past $355 on 7 fill-ups. That's crazy stuff. All right. Here's one from Jay in Shanghai at Jay in Shanghai. Must watch. China's top auto media showcases Tesla as the world's safest car. 30% front collision test with a truck at 35 miles per hour by DCAR safety tests. DCAR tested 30 popular models like Tesla Haval, Range Rover, and Maybach, ranking them all on safety. At Tesla Asia. So, yeah, check out the video here. This is a very aggressive test here. This is a harsh test that ought to reveal if your car has been engineered safely or not. Look at this passenger. They're fine. They have not sustained serious injury because the airbags deployed front and side, preventing them from contacting any of this sharp stuff that occurred after that Tesla crashed into the rear of a semi truck. That's a truck underride type accident, and this one is a corner collision, which is the worst kind of accident. For many, many decades, Corvette drivers have been ending their lives with truck underride accidents. They came up too fast on a semi, or a semi pulled into their lane and their Corvette couldn't slow down fast enough before it went under the thing. And the rear bumper of that semi is just like a can opener. It takes off the top of the car, including the passengers who were inside it. So that is a very deadly type of collision that can occur. Good to see Tesla recognized as the #1 safest vehicle in such situations. Here's one from Royce at Royce_Young. The Model 3 is the only one tested to achieve G, excellent rating across the board. Here you go. As a comment to that post that we just saw, yeah, the Tesla Model 3 can hold the weight. It's a ridiculous sounding claim, but it's true. The glass roof of a Tesla Model 3 can hold the weight of 2 adult male African elephants. That's why it did so well in that collision. Tesla engineers wanted to make sure that roof would be as strong as possible. The Tesla Model S 10 years ago broke the machine they used to test roof crush capacity. So I don't know if it was NHTSA or Consumer Reports. Somebody had a machine that breaks car roofs, and their machine was broken by the Tesla Model S, which would not yield to its maximum downward force. So here's a big infographic that we will not be talking about during this episode. Pause it and look through it if that's of interest to you. I liked it. Here's one from Elon Musk. Wow, the situation is even more insane than I realized, replying on November 4th to Will Chamberlain. Listening to the Rogan/Elon podcast, plenty of discussion about the DOJ lawsuit against SpaceX for not employing asylum seekers when they were legally prohibited from employing asylum seekers for national security reasons. Also, a side note, Christian Clark, the head of the DOJ Civil Rights Division who brought the lawsuit against SpaceX, is at the top of the list of potential Supreme Court justices. She also perjured herself during the nomination hearings, if you needed another reason to vote Trump. She's not at the top of Trump's list of Supreme Court justices. So that was the day before the election. The situation is even more insane than I realized. Yeah, there you go. If you want to have nightmares, think about a Supreme Court with Kristen Clark, Pam Karlan, and Larry Krasner on it. People who go after Elon Musk. There's that. Here's one from Future Oz. This is Brian White. Is it easier to push your way into the market when you're shaped like a wedge? This is a great question. Cybertrucks do have this wedge shape to them. He's retweeting the Tesla life. It's delivery day for some lucky #Tesla #Cybertruck Foundation Series owners here in Toronto, Canada. Photo credit, Nick Cruz, Patane. Yeah, check it out. No matter which way you park them, they are this pyramid shape. It's kind of fun to see them parked 2 different ways. I've seen a lot of photos where people line them up, all pointing the same direction, but it's also kind of fun to see it done this way. Mix and match, and they still show off their stainless steel exterior pyramidal shape. Here's one from Stephen Mark Ryan. Watch as Joe Rogan's conversation with Elon Musk mysteriously does not appear on YouTube's trending list, despite doing millions of views per hour in a matter of hours. The hottest video on YouTube, and it was not in their list of trending videos. The #1 most watched video wasn't in their trending videos list. Gee. Here's one from Sawyer Merritt with his first tweet that I liked this week. I scour X, so you don't have to, friends. Just watch my weekly recap video instead of being on X. Some people do it that way. Just let me filter out the good stuff for you. Here's one from Sawyer Merritt. In the past 6 months, Tesla has sold as many EVs in the US as General Motors has sold over the past 10 years. When Biden told GM CEO Mary Barra in late 2021 that GM was leading in EVs, it had sold only 140,000 units in the US up to that point, and only 26 EVs in the most recent quarter because they had a recall for fire risk for all of their EV models, I think. While Tesla had sold over 1 million, as of now, GM has sold a total of 300,000 EVs in the US, while Tesla has surpassed 2.8 million, nearly 10 times more, and soon to be more than 10 times more. Tesla's going to fly past this 3 million number a lot quicker than GM's going to fly past their 300,000 number, selling the Bolt and whatever their other EVs are. In October, GM eclipsed over 300,000 cumulative EV sales in the US and has sold over 370,000 EVs in North America, including Canada and Mexico, I suppose. What is this chart supposed to be proving? I guess they put the dotted line here so you would know what they meant when they said that it was more than 300,000. All right, so there's that, and there's some of the comments, which I will not read. I'll back out of here and keep going. Here's one from Massimo. Fun fact, today's election is the first presidential election since 1976 where a Bush, Clinton, or Biden is not on the ballot. That sounds unbelievable. It seems like it can't be true that every 4 years since 1976, there has been a Bush, Clinton, or Biden on the ballot, but it's true. Here they all are. So H.W. Bush in 80, and again in 84 as Reagan's Veep. H.W. Bush as president in 88. He ran again in 92 and lost to Clinton. So that year they had a Bush and a Clinton running for office. Clinton was reelected in 96. Bush Jr. was elected in 2000, George W. Bush, and reelected in 2004. And Biden has been on the ticket ever since, as Obama's Veep twice. Oh no, Clinton came in 2016. Clinton got the nomination and not Biden back in 2016 when she lost to Trump. Then Biden won in 2020. And this is the first election since 1976 with no Bush, Clinton, or Biden. Crazy stuff. How can that be right? All right, that's going the wrong direction. We'll go this way. Hans C. Nelson said, if you believe in Stonk's astrology, is this a sign of good things to come on election day with Tesla up 420? It was up 4.20% that day, November 5th, and it turned out to be a pretty good omen. Here's one from Andy Sly. Imagine voting from your phone. I replied, is such a thing even possible? 45% of people said yes, 25% of people said no, 15% of people said I don't know, and 13% just wanted to see results. So that's how my poll turned out. I imagine most of the people voting in this poll used their phones to do so. That was my little joke. Here's one from Holmar's catalog at Holmar's blog. This was one of the straws that eventually broke the camel's back, leading to Musk's acquisition of Twitter, retweeting me, saying Elon Musk's not sure about good of Twitter tweet from 5 years ago now exists only in screenshots. So he deleted these posts, but they are still visible on the Clean Technica website because somebody wrote an article about it and screenshotted them there. That was around the same time this guy, Markazi, I mispronounce people's names sometimes and then remember how they're supposed to be pronounced, had been under the account Tesla Truth, and it got permanently suspended by old regime Twitter. They banned him And the reason he has to play cat and mouse about identifying himself, which everybody knows this account is run by Omar Kazi. Um, he he refers to himself in the third person a lot to have plausible deniability that he's running it because old Twitter management banned him for life and banned him from starting new accounts, which this was, for posting a photo of Aaron Greenspan wearing a purple shirt. And Aaron filed a Digital Millennium Copyright Act violation strike against Omar. And then Omar did it again and maybe again. And then Twitter suspended his account forever. Here's one from Upfit at Upfit Tesla Day 1, Sima Show. That's how I recall it. If you have a better recollection, leave a correction in the replies. Introducing the world's quickest police car, the Upfit Plaid Pursuit expands the Tesla offering built for law enforcement. Check out this bad boy. Upfit and Unplugged Performance has a badge on here too. And there's a plaid badge on the back of this thing. This is the fastest law enforcement vehicle in the United States of America. That's like, I don't know if anybody has a faster vehicle than a Tesla Model S Plaid with which to chase down lawbreakers. But I thought this was great to see Los Angeles County Sheriff's Office buying themselves Model S Plaids. Let us hope they use those to serve and protect. Here's a tweet from me that I liked. Okay, why would I like my own tweet? It's because somebody at X added a very cool like animation to any post containing the following text. Hashtag election 2024 with a voting box immediately after it. You had to put the voting box on it for it to work, I think. Click like and react to it below. 63% of people saying this animation was dope. I had to show people in the comments who couldn't see the animation what it looked like by recording myself making a video of me activating this animation. Hey, they turned off the animation. So the way that you'll find it now is in my reply to anyone unable to see the animation. It looks like this right there. There it is, the voting box and the sparkles and the stars and checks. There you go. So good stuff from whoever at X decided to program in that cute little animation for the like. Here's one from Brian White, Featuraza. This is a brand new story somehow. Green Car Reports. Said Chevy Bolt EV recalled again to prevent possible battery fire. Are you joking? Are you joking, people who make Chevy Bolts? Shouldn't that have been at the top of your list the last 3 times you recalled this model for posing a fire risk from the batteries? Come on, figure out how to make your battery packs not catch fire, please, next time before you start selling these things again. I don't get that fired up very often, but that is staggering incompetence from the people who make Chevy Bolts. Here's one from Jim Hall at J Hall. Let the process run its course. It takes time to count every ballot. Florida would like to have a word with you, sir. Florida was done counting all the ballots. I think like an hour and a half after the polls closed or something. They had 99% reporting. Here's the screenshot. Florida has already counted 100% of the votes. 2 hours, 41 minutes after closing, fiscal surplus, no income tax. Bam. Yeah, if Florida can do it, everybody should be able to do it. Same night vote counts would be great. So you're not stuck with the too close to call the next morning on the news networks. I stayed up till about midnight waiting for them to finally declare the winner that we knew from X, like at 9 p.m., and they never did. Here's one from Sawyer Merritt. Cybertrucks waiting to load onto car carriers at Tesla Giga Texas today via Brad Sloan. Look at all those beautiful Cybertrucks rolling out into the parking lot, finding parking spaces, getting ready to load onto car carriers and go to happy new Cybertruck owners. Made in Texas. The most American-made pickup truck you can buy is made in Austin, Texas by Tesla. Here's one from Gary Mark, Blue Sky Kites at Blue Sky Kites. Watch, Cybertruck handily pulls 33,000 pounds at this truck pull competition. Never gets old. Tagging some folks there. But yeah, look at this crowd stunned by watching the Cybertruck pull this tractor to the, as far as any other truck was able to pull that tractor. The reason that nobody ever drives the whole length of the track is because the sled moves to the front here where it digs down into the earth, and then you can't drive it farther than that. That's the point of the tractor pull, is that the weight moves to the front of the sled, making it more and more difficult to tow it the farther you drive it. Here's one from Warren Redlick. Jeff, you're killing me, with a screenshot of Fred Lambert here saying, I can't say that I never shorted a stock in my life before. I just bought a few put contracts on hashtag DJT. The business is inexistent. I think Fred meant non-existent. It's pure meme stock without the fun. And then here's Jeff Lutz showing LOL in a reply to Fred Lambert with DJT skyrocketing on the eve of the election as Trump won. It has since crashed, I think, but knowing Fred, he probably covered at the top for a giant loss. Here's one from Ashok Elaswamy. America just kicked into founder mode. Time to build. Elon Musk liked that post and replied to it, I think. Yes, he did, in the affirmative. Here's one from Rohan Patel. I was wrong on a bunch of levels, but the voters should always be respected. Huge congrats to all the candidates and campaigns on both sides for being in the arena and caring deeply about the country. I thought that was a very well phrased and enlightened post from Rohan Patel on a morning when a lot of other people were being bitter and emotional and unreasonable about their loss. Here's one from Andrea S. James. Fellow rebellionaire, Lioness. People in major blue cities who are not on X are shocked by Trump winning the popular vote. Those of us on X are not surprised at all. You really cannot get an accurate sense of things from reading the mainstream news anymore. It is more obvious than ever. Farzad got it right. Omar got it right. They put out predictions that Trump would win by a lot. Omar got it right for every state ahead of the election. It came out exactly the way he thought it would. Trump is outperforming versus 2016 and 2020 in every single consequential poll. Harris is performing worse than either Biden or Clinton did. And CNN pulled up a map showing all the counties that Harris won by 3% more than Joe Biden won by 3 years ago. Over the thousands of counties across the U.S. There wasn't one. Kamala Harris didn't win one county in the entire United States. Not state. County. Even if you drill all the way down to the county level, there was no county in the United States of America where 3% more people voted for Kamala Harris than voted for Joe Biden. This was obvious from X, and people didn't believe it. If X were a public company, I think it would probably be up 30% plus today. It was vindicated as a better source of info than the mainstream media, and the risk of lawfare against Elon Musk dropped significantly. This platform has a bright future, said Matt Smith at Macchasm Matt, fellow Rebellionaire Lion. Correctly. Here's one from Doge Army General at the Tesla Bull. LMFAO, Tesla Q Clown Kingpin, says some interesting stuff. So I'm not going to read this. But there you go. That's Mark B. Spiegel tweeting from his Stanfill Cap account in characteristic Mark B. Spiegel style. Pause it and read through that if you would like. Here's one from Mark Cuban. Congrats, real Donald Trump. You won fair and square. Congrats to Elon Musk as well. Hashtag Godspeed. He said trying to backtrack rapidly to make up for the steadfast opposition he has been to real Donald Trump and Elon Musk, hoping to not have any retaliation against him and his businesses, I would assume. Here's one from Alex at Alex_Avoit. I was wrong in my election prediction 3 months ago, and I congratulate the Republicans on their victory. Despite not all votes are counted yet, I believe it will be a win for the Republican Party. So good to see Alex finally acknowledging reality. He's been saying that Kamala Harris is going to win in a landslide for a while, and was not correct about that. Here's one from Pierre Poilievre. Probably mispronouncing that. Let me know, Canadians, how Canadians pronounce that last name. Congratulations to Donald J. Trump on his election as the 47th President of the United States. The U.S. is Canada's best friend and biggest trading partner, and I will work with the President to benefit both countries. My mission, Save Our Jobs. The U.S. has already taken $500 billion of investment in jobs from Canada under 9 years of Trudeau, and our people cannot afford homes and food. Yesterday's result confirms we must cancel Trudeau's plan to quadruple the carbon tax and hike other taxes, which would push hundreds of thousands more jobs south where President Trump will be cutting taxes even further. We must axe taxes, bring home our paychecks, save our jobs, stand up for Canada, said possibly Canada's next Prime Minister, Pierre Poilievre, when finally they boot Trudeau out, if that should happen. Here's one from Omar. Elon is so dumb. He spent $44 billion on Twitter, and all he got was control of all 3 branches of the federal government. Well, that's not exactly true, but it was a funny post, so I liked it, along with 178,000 others. Another one from Sawyer, and another win for Elon Musk. A U.S. appeals court today upheld a jury's verdict clearing Elon and Tesla of liability over allegations they misled investors when Elon posted on social media in 2018 that he had funding secured to take Tesla private. If you thought that business was over a long, long time ago, you should be happy to know that it is now actually fully, completely, officially over. So a good update from Sawyer. I stopped following that court case a long time ago. Here's one from Jeremy Arnold that I liked. He's at j.arnold on X. We can answer this now for what it's worth. Turnout was slightly up in swing states and slightly down in safe states. There were not 18 million fewer votes. There were just many millions left to count as of this AM in states in which the outcome was already mathematically certain anyway. The point being made by Jeremy Arnold is, no, this person, Mueller, she wrote, isn't right. I hope in the coming days someone is able to explain how we had record turnout but 18 million fewer votes than 2020. Both of these things can't be true. What's Jeremy saying? He's saying there were not 18 million fewer votes. There were just many millions left to count as of this morning. So if you take the count on election night and you say, hey, that was 18 million fewer votes, well, the vote's not done yet. Wait until the vote is done and then see how many million fewer votes it was. Here's one from James Locke at ArcTech Inc. After more than 4 years in Tesla's FSD early access program, I recently found myself removed without any direct explanation as to why. This is a long post, as I recall, so I will let you pause and read through the whole thing. I did give it a like, but maybe not everybody will want to read this FSD update. It sounds like they have just restarted the program with fewer people in it. And I don't know what their selection criteria were for restarting the program with a different list of beta test users. But James Locke is no longer in the beta testing early access program. You can all still have FSD unsupervised. They're not pulling that feature away. They were just getting an early access version to the same version that Elon was testing, or one that hadn't been released widely at any rate. Here's one from Steven Spencer at @Spencer_SMB. SMB Capital is the company he works for in New York City. He professionally trades stocks. I wish you had shared at the time, would have bought extra calls. This type of posting reeks of desperation and the need for the stock to move higher. What's he replying to? Well, it's my post. I said, after Tesla's 1010 Robotaxi event 4 weeks ago, longtime Tesla short seller Grant Belden, fake name, posted a flurry of near-term Tesla predictions. So I kind of made a Who's Hating Hard on Tesla Today episode out of these screenshots. in the replies. I might have to make some videos about it today, or at least one video about this. I'll show you the rest of the thread in case you missed it. Shall we grade his homework? First up, he claimed institutional investors will be taking down price targets. That was a wrong claim. They took them up. Here's the screenshot of them taking up their price targets. Nobody took their price target down. They all took them up. There's no way to justify this price level. Well, all of them justified higher price levels. Look at these price targets. They're higher than it was on 4/20/2024 when these claims came out. Q3 numbers will be disastrous, showing a continued decline in gross margins will drop. That's how he phrased it in his screenshot here. That's not me mixing up my sentence. That's Grant posting too fast. Except the most recently reported quarter has the highest total GAAP gross margin of any quarter in the past 5 quarters, including the prior year, same quarter, Q3, up 195 basis points. So Grant's claim earnings would be disastrous for Q3, showing a continued decline in gross margins. Well, he couldn't have been more wrong. Look out below, and stock will trade below $200 in the coming weeks. That's what he claimed. And here's what actually happened. Since April, the stock price went up quite a lot and continued going higher yesterday. So I'll back out of here and keep going. To the next post that I liked from Holmar's catalog, unrealized capital gains will remain untaxed. Now, a lot of Kamala Harris supporters told me, don't worry about it, James. They're never going to be able to pass an unrealized capital gains tax because they won't be able to get the votes in Congress. Even the Democrats will vote against that. Don't worry about it. It's fine. To which I replied, why would I vote for someone whose ideas are so bad, not even half the people in their own party agree with them? I didn't get a reply to that. Here's one from Tesla Thomas, RIP to our fallen Tesla soldiers. A lot of folks today won't believe Greg Westra used to be a bull. He was a huge Tesla bull back in 2016, 2017, before he sold all of his shares. And he's been hoping for a dip to buy them all back for less than he sold them ever since. Tesla economist, Jerry Rig Everything, Ross Gerber, Barry Glack, not a real name, meet Kevin Ben Sullins. They succumbed to sore feelings over their bad predictions, that list. Here's one from Jason DeBoltz. The $97,000 I contributed to my 401k between 2009 and 2015 and rolled over into Tesla is now worth over $5 million. Actually, Google matched 50% of my contributions, so the initial total investment was $145,000, including Google's 50% matching contribution. All I did was deduct $630 from each paycheck every 2 weeks for 6 years, $45 per day. So Jason was a very good software programmer before he retired. Google doesn't hire chumps. You can't get a job at Google writing software unless you're real good at writing software. And they pay accordingly. That job is based in Palo Alto, California, which has the highest real estate prices in America. Cost of living is extremely high. And the tech field is very in demand in that area and globally, so they have to pay a lot to get the best talent. When I left Google in 2016, I sold off all the Vanguard index funds and bought 17,340 Tesla shares, all of which I still own. These are just my 401k retirement account shares. I purchased all shares in a single transaction. I remember staring at the pixelated Buy Shares button, and I finally clicked the button. Owning these 401k Tesla shares wouldn't be possible if I stayed at Google, which doesn't allow owning individual stocks in this IRA account. I made more money by leaving Google than I did by working there, and here's his little spreadsheet showing the contributions he made into his account that have since grown by quite a lot. I had to do a similar thing. My employer didn't allow me to invest in individual stocks with their 401k either, so I had to take out a loan against my own 401k to invest in Tesla stock. which luckily I did at a good time to make a lot of money on that decision in a retirement account that I'll be able to touch when I turn 65, I guess. Here's one from Tesla Owners Silicon Valley at Tesla Owners SV, the Tesla Owners Silicon Valley squad with Stephen Pallotta and myself. Well, and this guy, that's Kimball Musk. You may recognize him by the white cowboy hat. Good guys wear white hats in cowboy movies. Here's one from Zhang Wen 2005. According to a circular issued by China Association of Automobile Manufacturers and the National Computer Network Emergency Technical Processing Coordination Center, that's a mouthful, Tesla has become the first batch of companies to meet the automotive data security compliance requirements. This means that all models produced by Tesla in the Shanghai Superfactory comply with relevant national standards. So, this is good news for Tesla. Tesla may be able to roll out FSD unsupervised or supervised at some point in 2025. So, good update there from Zhang Wen. Here's one from Elon Facts X on X. Over the past decades, experts and CEOs in the automotive industry have repeatedly hyped hydrogen fuel cell cars as the future of the automobile. By contrast, Elon Musk predicted as early as 2012, earlier than that too, that success is not one of the possible outcomes for this technology because of its inefficiency compared to battery electric vehicles. 10 years later, despite huge public and private investments in hydrogen car programs, fuel cell vehicles are unable to compete with the rapid development of BEVs. In 2023, fewer than 15,000 fuel cell cars were sold worldwide, and sales are expected to drop significantly this year. And hydrogen fuel stations have been closing in California, which was about the only place that had them in the US. By contrast, about 10 million BEVs were sold last year, and sales are set to continue to grow rapidly. In the US, fewer than 100 hydrogen refueling stations are available today, compared to more than 200,000 charging ports for BEVs. And that's only dedicated charging ports. There are many, many millions of standard electrical outlets which can be used to recharge EVs. All you need is a mobile connector and a few hours. A lot of hours if you're fully. If you run it down to zero, it's going to take you a whole day to recharge on a 110 outlet. But yeah, you can recharge from just about anywhere. Here's a post I liked yesterday from Grimes. This is incorrect. She replied to your Anon News. What's incorrect? Well, in case you see it, dear viewer, I wanted you to know this is not correct. That Grimes agreed to move to Musk's breeding compound. I didn't know Musk had a breeding compound. It's false, as judged by Grimes. This community note was not there when I saw this reply from Grimes, so I wanted to click the like button to be able to tell you, so you have the correct information. That's not a real thing. Here's one from Viv at Battle Angel Viv. This is underrated. Also, brake dust particles are a significant source of microplastics, which means using your motors to slow down instead of friction results in less pollution. Everybody wins. Retweeting Tesla, who posted regenerative braking saves you money by reducing wear and tear on your friction brakes. When you lift off the accelerator, energy is returned to the battery as your Tesla slows down instead of being lost as heat. This also helps maximize vehicle efficiency, getting you further. Yeah, your car goes further on a charge using regenerative braking, which is why all EVs use it. What else do we have here? Here's one from Sawyer Merritt from yesterday. Rivian lost $39,000 for every vehicle they delivered in Q3 2024 versus $32,000 in Q2 2024. Q3 included the launch of their second generation R1 vehicles. Rivian lost $124,000 per vehicle in Q4 2022. Rivian said today they remain on track for positive gross profit in Q4 2024. Well, how do you figure? A year ago, you lost $124,000 per vehicle. Last quarter, you lost $39,000 per vehicle, and the quarter before that, you lost $33,000 per vehicle. How do you figure you're going to make money suddenly from there? That's a deep hole to dig out of I replied with the doubt gif. So this is from the video game LA Noire, I think, where one of your jobs is to decide which witness accounts you believe or don't believe as a private investigator, and that's how you progress through the game, is by hitting the doubt button when you think you've just heard someone lying to you, making that a high quality GIF. All right. Here's another one from Brian. I love that CS Skeptic's avatar is literally a dim bulb. Apt. Retweeting high frequency hertz. This was the screenshot I meant to send, but the other one works just as well. LMAO. Common sense skeptics saying, fanboys seriously think this level of structural integrity is going to hold up getting shoved through max Q with a 100-ton payload in the nose that weighs as much as the rest of the upper stage dry weight? It's going to fold up like a Coke can, was the prediction from CS Skeptic, who doesn't know a lot of SpaceX engineers, I would guess. Here's one from Tim Busby. Life at 130 BPM, the other owner of Stevenson Indicator. If I ever get hit by a bus, you can go bug Tim Busby to update Stevenson Indicator and post it to X. He's the only other person on X who cares about Stevenson Indicator. The last one is the best. It literally has doubled, he replied. What's going on here? Well, let me scroll up. Okay, so we saw this earlier, right? Stock will never sniff $1 trillion again, was Grant Belden's prediction on 4/20/23. And then yesterday, Tesla did pass $1 trillion of market cap valuation. There's the screenshot. How it's going, this was early in the day yesterday when Tesla had only risen to $313 up here. It closed above 320 someplace. Bonus content also from 4/20/23. Yeah, he was trying to quote shame me for quoting Elon Musk. The long-term lifetime revenue that you're targeting per vehicle is massive. So if you take that to the extreme, it would seem that you'd be comfortable with a relatively low initial margin. This is just Elon saying, hey, this year's earnings aren't why you buy Tesla stock. You buy Tesla stock for the earnings 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years from now. That's why you're buying in April of 2023. Let's see here. And then he replied to Alex A. Voigt, if you panic sell Tesla today, you're making the fundamental mistake of confusing the price of your shares with the value of your shares. Tesla stock was undervalued for almost a full year, and it's undervalued today. That's all you need to know. Alex was right about Tesla stock on 4/20/23, and Grant was wrong, saying the price is the fair market value. Here he was saying, I'm trying to stop antagonizing James for how wrong he's been / how right I've been in retrospect. It's just hard not to, which I thought gave me a lot of justification for posting screenshots of him yesterday as Tesla passed $1 trillion, doubling, as he claimed the stock could not do, and that Tesla would never sniff $1 trillion again. Yeah, the stock literally has doubled since he said it would not. Here's one from Galley, followed, replying to me yesterday when I reminded people if you like charts and you like Tesla, make sure you're following Roland Percher. His handle is PILOLY, and he puts out some of the best looking and most informative Tesla charts you'll find on X. So if that's the kind of content you like, follow this account. He just lost his monetization status for not getting 5 million views in 3 months. If anybody is doing enough work, enough good high quality work on Tesla charts to be monetized, it's Roland Percher. So follow that account if you're not already. And here's a post from November 8th of his that I like, just to give you an example of what kind of content he's putting out. China reported 40,485 Tesla sales and 1.8% market share in October. BEV penetration is 29.8%, and Tesla has 6% of this segment in China, way better than any other foreign automaker. Model Y Second best-selling car, 89% Model Y and 11% Model 3. Third best first month of the quarter ever, and down 12% versus the previous one. So only missing the previous record by 12%. Best October ever, 41% above October of last year. Last 3 months, plus 9.3% versus May through July. Year to date, plus 7% over same period last year. So Tesla still has growth in China while competitors are all down across the board. Year to date, foreign competitors, I mean, it's the local Chinese EV makers that are growing in share, mostly selling low-priced vehicles that don't compete with Tesla models. So yeah, here's the year-to-date Tesla sales in China. This look reminiscent of my revenue bar chart. Good to see Tesla way out in front for the year-to-date. And here are the sales by month. Tesla sales in China, so domestic sales. And here it is by quarter. And here are the cumulative line charts. So 2024 is above all previous years. They were keeping pace for most of the year, and over the past couple of months, they've extended that lead out. So good charts there from Roland Percher. As we end near the end of this video, here's one from FSD Pilot Unsupervised. Thanks for proving my point, said John Chabowski. About what? Well, let's scroll up and look. Oh, well, this was Grant Belden responding in the comments after I tagged Tesla Goes Plaid, John Chabowski, and Psydude. I haven't seen Watuzi lately. Maybe he is skulking in the shadows. I said I wanted to tag everyone farther up that old thread linked here. Grant replied, James's 2024 EPS forecast at the time was 1650. I said it then and will say it again. He can't forecast. I was wrong that people would bid up the stock this much. Happy to admit that. Totally unrelated to your understanding of the business. But take W's where you can, was the surly response from Grant Belden, hoping he would hurt my feelings by saying that my forecast was wrong. Everyone's forecast is wrong. It's only a question of how much it will be wrong by. That's not why you forecast. You don't forecast believing that you're going to get the numbers right. So here's him retweeting me from February 19th of 2023. Yeah, Tesla has been cutting prices a lot since then, I guess, and not achieving the kind of volume growth that I had hoped for. So there you go. You can get a whole lot of earnings real quick if you can sell a lot more vehicles at higher price points. I'm not even sure I was forecasting higher price points back here. Maybe he found one where I was. I did take it down. Grant replying, good to see you, James. The last time we interacted, you blocked me for pointing out your abysmal track record in forecasting Tesla. Would be happy to take another. That is untrue. As a point of order, the reason that I blocked Grant Belden is because I posted that only Tesla Q uses the argument that Tesla is structurally unprofitable because they made up the expression structurally unprofitable and passed it around between themselves so often and repeated it so much that they started to believe it was a legitimate business term, structurally unprofitable. It's totally made up. It's not used ever anywhere by anybody except Tesla Q members talking about why Tesla is going to go bankrupt, and that's been true for 6 years. I tweeted that, and Grant came back and said, oh no, it really is a legitimate business term, and if you purchased this $90 textbook about how to analyze corporate earnings reports, you'd be able to read all about the real business term, structurally unprofitable. So I went and found a copy of that book for free online and did a search for structurally unprofitable and found that it isn't mentioned anywhere in that textbook. That is the kind of unseriousness that got Grant Belden blocked years ago, and I only unblocked him to do this thread here because I felt like I felt like it's wrong to call somebody out and then not allow them to reply by leaving them blocked. So I'm glad that I let him have his opportunity to reply. And John Chabowski replied, "Oh, please, you block and unblock me on a weekly basis. You don't see me whining." Grant replied, "You're the only person I block because you act like a child about it." He said, "LOL, don't know if you've noticed, but up till now, I've straight up been ignoring it. You're the one with the temperament of a teenage girl. Thanks for proving my point by blocking me again." So that was super funny. I decided to give that one a like. Here's one from Deval Schroff at Deval_Schroff. "Found this on our car. I don't think they know. I am not just a customer buying a Tesla and supporting Elon, but I have also worked for him for over 10 years and will continue doing so." The note here, "Save democracy, boycott Elon Musk." Well, which one of those do you want to do? Because Elon Musk is interested in saving democracy. Boycotting Elon Musk is a different thing than saving democracy. That's pretty funny. It's 26,000 likes on that. Here's one from Chris Dungeon, like Jason DeBolt, a longtime Tesla shareholder, who has millions of dollars invested in Tesla stock, posting here, "I was making $150,000 per year before retiring on Tesla in 2021. Never thought I'd be up multiple millions in a day." And up a lot more than that over the week. Tesla stock rose from 240 on Monday to over 320 on Friday. That's a heck of a good week, over a 33% gain. 5 days. Here's a post from Elon Musk that I liked about X, all-time high usage of this platform. I saw people wondering why their ad monetization payments were down versus last week. How could that be if the platform was used at an all-time high? Well, think about it. It's because the all-time high here was from people coming to X to get election coverage news. If your account hasn't been making election coverage news all this time, they weren't reading your posts. They weren't interacting with your content. So the people who got much larger paychecks than usual are the people who have been putting out election coverage news. They got the larger share because they were getting the larger share of eyeballs on the global user seconds that happened this week. So if you make Tesla content, this spike wasn't from people looking for Tesla content. Maybe it was on Thursday and Friday, some. Mostly it's from the election. All right, and nearing the end of our video, it's another post from Chris Dungeon. Did hashtag Tesla get ahead of itself in 2021? Absolutely, but this is why you hold it long term. Up $301.26 over the past 5 years. This prompted my post from this morning that is now my pinned tweet. I will show it to you before the end of this video, just in case you haven't seen it yet today. And here's one I liked from Ricky at 2-Bit Da Vinci that only got 9 likes. That's criminal. 21 hours ago. "I want every company that's serious about EVs to succeed, but there's cause for concern for everyone not named Tesla. 1. Growing market of used Tesla killer deals makes it even tougher to buy another EV. 2. Might Trump 47 reduce/eliminate EV credits? 3. Chinese EVs. I saw a note somebody shared with me from the Bank of America analyst John Murphy talking about how even if the national EV tax credit is eliminated, Tesla stands to do much better than the competition because the competition was using that EV tax credit as a selling point versus their ICE fleet. Tesla never had to use it as a selling point versus their ICE fleet, right? So in a situation where the EV credits go away, and it's not speculative, we've seen this happen before. The EV credits did go away. In 2019, when they expired, Tesla had no EV credits, and GM and Ford still had them because they hadn't hit their maximum cap yet. So Tesla would do a lot better than other automakers in the US trying to sell EVs because they wouldn't have that giant $7,500 selling point relative to the other cars on their lot. So would it be great for Tesla? No, not great, but would Tesla still be outperforming the competition? Possibly better than ever. Here's one from James Hatfield at _James Hatfield _. I bought calls June 2025 at $300. James Hetfield made out like a bandit. Here's the chart. It's hard to believe, but you could have purchased Tesla for $240 on Monday of this week. There's the chart. Started off the week here, and then this was election day, and then you got the gap up, and then the continued buying and short covering pressure ever since. Maybe Bill Gates covered his short. I did make a funny GIF post about Bill Gates' short position. Here's one from Andrea S. James talking about the company she used to work for, Axon. So you can pause and read through this if you want. I know not everybody is interested in Axon, but this company's stock has risen by several 100% over the past few years. And Andrea doesn't work there anymore, so those are not biased. Well, I mean, they're biased comments from her, but they're not her trying to promote her current company that she's CFO of. Here's one from X posed at DELAM25. Oh, honey, I doubt any brokerage in the world is still allowing you to sell covered calls at this point. Replying to Reality saying, selling some 317s. Look at all these screenshots. Selling 175s, selling 179s, selling 181s, 180s, 219s, 215s, 224s, 240s. I don't believe him. No one should believe this account saying that he's selling because he thinks the stock price is going to come down. He isn't really. He's just posting that he is to amuse himself or for engagement or for whatever. In the hopes that he can drive the stock price down by manifesting it into reality with his posts. Here's one from Ryan Scanlon and also Farzad. I was the only person who liked this post. Let me scroll up here. One other person has liked it since, probably Farzad, who posted his story about how his whole life he's been distrustful of government, whether in Iran or in Spain, where they were mismanaging the economy, or in the US, where politics have been contentious for a long time and still are. He concludes, this is the first time ever that I feel like the world can be a better place, that wrongs can be righted, that prosperity is possible for the many, not the few. It's been way too long, we are due. Elon replied, America has benefited from an influx of very talented Iranians. And then Ryan Scanlon replied, and also Farzad. And you can't see who the other like was from, but I bet it was from Farzad, who has a great self-deprecating sense of humor, which is attractive in people. Beats the alternative. And, I guess I liked this while we were talking, and then I promised you that I would show you this. Yes, Steven Spencer was one of many people who just liked this post. Tesla on this date, year, price, gain/loss. I'm proud of the way that I was able to lay this out in text only and have it still look okay. There you go. At IPO, or a few months after, Tesla was trading around $1.64. And if you had bought back then, you would have gained 19,487%. And you can see for every other year what the gains would have been. I put in italics loss up here. There's only 1 year that on this date you would have lost money if you had purchased, and that was 2021. November of 2021 was the all-time high for Tesla stock, but it only touched it briefly. Like, there was only a week, I think, where Tesla traded over $400 per share. Then it came back rapidly down, and my theory on how that happened was that it was caused by people buying call options and rolling them up and chasing them until they ran out of the ability to do that. Like, you can see gamblers do this in a casino where they keep doubling down, doubling down, doubling down. You can win a bunch of times doing that, but eventually you will lose. And perhaps Leo Kogwan, was doing that in November of 2021. I think he was making a whole lot of noise about how he was going to buy half the company back then. And then when he couldn't keep propping the share price up that way anymore, when he was out of margin or whatever, the stock price came back down rapidly afterwards. And that's how that short-lived all-time high happened, I think. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But there you go. That's the video for this week. So with that, we will check back in with Loki, who is still in bed, hanging out, alert, active, ready to shoot the next video. And I will thank you for watching this video. Remind you to like the video if you liked the video. All of you are subscribed, so I don't have to tell you to subscribe to me. And a special shout out to my two executive producers, Kathy Kitchler and Rebellionaire.com. And I'll see you in the next one.